Okay, with this video, I'm going to make a little bit longer of a video, but in the description, I will mark the specific functions that each section of the video will have. Typically, I make 2 to 5 minute videos for single 2 or 3 different functions in Excel to help you find things quickly, get things done. I wanted to make a little bit longer video so that I can talk through some of these functions and then ask you if you would put in the comments any other functions that you would like to know how to do in either Excel or Word or Microsoft Access. So here we go. A couple quick things that will save you a great deal of time, hopefully, in your life. This works in Access and Excel. If you need to put today's date in, you hold down the Control key and hit your colon key. That's today's date. Quick, dirty, very helpful. If you now need to advance the date, you can click on and pull, click and drag, and those dates will advance one day at a time. Helpful. If you need to advance, maybe you need to do week range. So here's today's date. I can create a function that will put 7 days from today by simply taking that cell and adding 7 days to it. And that's the date in 7 days. And then if I need to do, maybe I need to do some date ranges, I can now take this field, add 1 to it, and then copy this formula down. And now I have a 7-day date range, 7 day, 7 day. And I can continue that down all the way and do 2-week ranges. Don't worry about this. That's because I haven't finished the formula. Click and drag this down, and it calculates everything out for you. More date ranges. Maybe we need to know the number of days between 2 dates. It's the highest date minus the lowest date. 7 days. Again, copying the formula down. What I did there is I double-clicked on this box in the corner, and it will copy the data down for every cell that has an adjacent cell that contains data. You'll notice the formula stopped when the data in this column stopped. If I were to do that and this column was empty, it would not have copied all the way down. That's a fun little trick you learn sometimes too late when you're trying to copy formulas. So make sure that you have data in the column next to the data you want to copy down. If you want to calculate, if you need to have a date within the month, but you need it to be the last day of the month, whatever that is. So what I can do here is use the end of month function. End EOM will bring me up my end of month for apparently I just clicked help on it. You can click help if you want. I want the end of month for this date. And how many months? Well, 0, because I want it to be on the last day of that month. And I got some wackadoodle number. That means my column's not formatted for dates. So I'm going to jump back over here, format this for short date. And there we go. It's the last day of the month. And again, I can copy that formula down. And I get the last day of the month for every one of these dates, regardless of what those are. Now I want a 1-year range. So now I want to take this date and subtract 365 days. So 1 year prior to October 31st is November 1st of 2023. And again, I can copy that formula down by double clicking, and there we go. Okay, so those are some quick date functions that hopefully will be very handy to you. Let's do some quick sum functions. So I'm going to put the total, I'm going to total across the column, however. So I'm going to use this sum, and it kind of gives a guess for you. It's usually correct. However, quick to point out that a lot of times when you do this auto sum, which is what this is, and there might be a column of some data that you don't necessarily want in the sum, and usually that's the year. Had that happen quite frequently. Why am I off by 2024? Because I grabbed the year in my calculation. So make sure that I don't have a year in my calculation. And I can also then now, you can see how it created the formula for you. So typing that in will also work. So it's summing D2 through H2. And if I want that all the way down, double click. And now everything's adding across. And then if I want a total across, a final total for that, I can sum that as well. There's my total of the column. And let's say, oh, now I've realized I did this total, but I would like totals for all these columns too. You can also copy backwards, and it will do the same thing. Excuse me. And if you want an average, you can get an average. Average of this. I don't want to include the total in the average. So I highlighted the data that I wanted the average for, and then I finished the parenthesis by just typing it in. And the average number for this data is that number. Okay, so we've created the average for this column. That's all I have right now. If you have any questions, please add them in the comments. And if you have any requests, please add them in the comments. Thank you again for watching.